Children in primary and secondary schools should not rush to get in touch with AI, or even have to chase it at all, which is the point mentioned by Mr. Zhuke in a live broadcast some time ago. As the manager of Science and Technology Reference, Strike, he has long tracked scientific and technological progress and is good at dismantling the underlying logic of technology. But why doesn't it say that AI is a necessary survival skill for the future? Isn't it that children should learn to cooperate with AI? Teacher Dirk mentioned that now parents use 3 weapons of AI. You can first see if you have been tricked. For example, let AI teach the child to ask questions. The teacher assigns homework and asks 10 questions on Chibifu, and the child opens the AI input sentence, and 100 high-quality questions are generated, and then the homework can be handed in. In this process, the child not only did not learn to ask questions, but only learned to be lazy, such as letting the child learn to use the latest trendy tool, A. And the development of A is changing with each passing day. The skills taught to children today may be eliminated in less than a semester. A child can quickly master new tools in the future due to a strong interest in learning and independent thinking skills. But a child who can only operate tools will be eliminated when tools are eliminated. It means that using AI to reduce the difficulty of learning is the most dangerous. The child does math homework to calculate the area of the triangle. According to the normal process, he needs to recall the formula and determine the value, step-by-step calculation. This process is very brain-intensive. Let it think every step of the way. But if you ask the AI directly, what is the area of the triangle that is 5 higher than 8? The resulting 1 second seems to save time, but the difficult process of making the brain work is also omitted. In particular, the process of deep learning requires the difficulty itself. Teacher Roque said that neuroscience research has found that the learning of complex knowledge allows children to think independently first, make mistakes, and then correct them, and the effect will be far better than listening to the explanation first. This process is called effective failure, and Tsinghua University is a place where China's top computer geniuses gather. It is said that Mr. Yao Kiji only made 1 requirement for the textbook, and the textbook should be difficult enough. Is it best to make most of the students in the class fail the midterm exam? Because it is difficult enough for the brains of these geniuses to experience deep effective failure, and the shortcuts are often the path to mediocrity. Because the key to effective failure is that the child is really thinking. The process of thinking with AI children is omitted, and there is no effective growth without deep thinking. The afternoon when these children scratch their heads because of problems is precisely the most precious thing in education. Why difficulties are so important. Teacher Jork said that there is a very important brain science concept called nerve pruning, and the brain of newborns is like a primeval forest and neurons grow wildly. A neuron will connect with 15,000 neurons around it, but this overly dense forest is actually very inefficient. Therefore, from adolescence, the brain will be trimmed to adulthood, and the neural connections will change from 150,000 drop to about 1,600. 90 of the connections will be cut, so which ones will be retained? When you try to solve a complex geometry problem, and when you ponder to memorize an obscure ancient text, your brain is firing with a specific circuit at high intensity. These circuits that are used intensively will be retained and strengthened. These pains are not bugs in life, but programs necessary for brain development. And if children encounter problems, they don't think about it, and they directly ask the AI that the neural circuits that should be activated are not really called. In this sense, AI can not only make people lazy, but also make people stupid. And this effect may be irreversible once the teenage years have passed. Therefore, when it is time to open the mountain early, go to the early opening of the mountain with your own hand. No matter how powerful the excavator is, it will be a matter of the future, so is AI completely unusable. Of course, Tao Jiexuan is not a mathematician, but he is also using AI. But he is doing some relatively repetitive, tedious, and uncreative work. Those core thoughts that need wisdom the most will be firmly held in his own hand. The role of AI is to assist thinking, not to replace the brain. The brain of a mature person is a general. AI is just a soldier, and a child without enough judgment and self-control is difficult to resist a choice to generate answers. The public education system has been running for more than 200 years, from 6 to 18 years old. What skills should children master and what their brains should look like have actually been run in very maturely. In this ever-changing era, perhaps the most important thing is not to chase every new tool, but to keep those time-tested and simple and effective growth laws. Pay attention to Liu Ran and lower the cognitive threshold of business.